Hello, and thank you for stopping by the Massachusetts Beer Reviews channel of YouTube. I am Thomas Metal 75, and today, if I can get the date straight, is March 27th, 2018, and we have a big old beer to discuss this evening that I saw at the local liquor store the other day when I was picking up a mix a six-pack for these examinations and for fellow YouTuber Tyler Mansell's examinations he does on Friday nights. Mine are Wednesday nights at 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time. Same on Tyler's channel, out in Wisconsin. This is from the Sixpoint Brewery. Now, I reviewed Sixpoint's Puff, which is their double IPA based off of their beer Resin, but that beer is an unfiltered beer, the Puff. I have not reviewed Resin on the channel. That's a 9.2%, I believe, 100 IBU beer. This is the big brother, a little bit bigger and a little bit more IBUs. This is their High Res from Sixpoint Brewery in Brooklyn, New York. They're considering it as it says on the back of the can, IPA, a triple IPA, if you even call that a style. This is 11.1% alcohol by volume, and it is 111 IBUs with an SRM, which is the color, of 11 for you brewers out there. And the great thing about this is when I bought it last week, it says canned on the 15th of January 2018, best before the 17th of July 2018. At about 9/11, I guess it was, if you can even read that, bottled, or canned, I should say. So, for a commercial beer, a commercial craft beer, that is great news. And all they say is, what does it take to amplify perception? Start by going microscopic on the hop cone and magnifying the loop-in factor, increase the resolution. Now you can see the finer details and the bigger picture. Billions of hot particles condensed into a can to create a massive beer. Now that's high res. This ale is best served in a glass, which is a Teku again this evening. I think I wanted a little bit of a snifter style at 11.1. This will be the first time ever drinking the res, high res. They talk about, I'll just pour. The whole thing is not out of the bottle yet, or the can yet. They talk about on the Sixpoint Brewery's website that this beer was last brewed in January of 2017. Obviously, I'm defying that right now. At that point in time, I believe it was 11.1 and 115 IBUs. Science says you believe that you can only taste up to 100 IBUs, and anything beyond that you cannot perceive. But High Res from Sixpoint Brewery, Brooklyn, New York. Yeah, there's a lot, you can't even see it, it's so dark. Just around the bottom of the glass, there is a lot of hop particulate, sediment, matter, basically. Earthy green looking particles to it. Definitely got a nice white, off-white head. It is a deep amber orangey practically in color. Look, it's like a dark orangey sunset. Getting a lot of like candied, I almost said banana, candied orangey notes to this beer. Lots of oil to the beer. There is some sweet, toasty, kind of bready malt. A little bit of a dankness to it. I'm getting like a tangerine and orange. There is a little bit of grapefruit flesh. Sweet. It smells like it's going to be a big beer. Cheers. Let's dive into High Res from the Brooklyn Brewery Company. Sixpoint. Okay, now that is dangerous. Although it tastes pretty big, It is not too big for its own good. I am being told my eyes were closed. Go screw yourself. It is not too big for its own good in the taste, which is great. There definitely is, like in the nose, a lot of that candied orangey note to it. There is a toasty, bready malt in the background. Lots of that orangey, tangerine, mango, grapefruit kind of a sensation in there. A very dry beer. There is only the indication that it is a bigger, boozier beer. Once you swallow a beer, you can get a little bit of phenol alcoholic notes to the beer. But for me personally, I would not say that it is anything over the top or more or too warming, or nor should I say does it burn at any point in the sip. I would say it's a high, medium to light full in the mouthfeel. It actually is nice and crisp. It's actually pretty clean. It's a pretty dry finish on this one. And drinkability, is it refreshing? 11.1 is really not supposed to be, but what do I say about that? I guess in the right application you could quench your thirst on this, but I'm not finding this necessarily the biggest thirst quencher on the planet Earth. So the website, I think it was, had talked about this was going to give off some more of a tropical, juicy kind of a note, and I see that a little bit. It's not quite as New England IPA juicy, but I do think that New England style IPA fans can get behind the high res for sure. 111 IBUs. It's actually more balanced in this toasty malt character and this sweet orangey kind of mango-y notes than one would expect. There is a lot of sweetness to this beer, but again, none of it's overpowering. There's just going to be a lot more sweetness than you're probably used to in a double IPA, or if you've ever had a triple IPA, for God's sakes. Definitely some earthy notes as it dries. Definitely a lot of that dankness. Definitely a lot of, I would say it is pretty dry, but maybe it's semi-dry now I'm thinking about it. There's that candy-like sweetness that is really the last thing to fade, and this again, that earthy green kind of a dank note. So if any of this really sounds like that's up your alley, I forget what I paid for the beer. Here it is. The high res and the puff are the same price at the local liquor store that I went to, which is $3.59 for a can. If you think that's a good value, good. I do think that's a good value for this beer. So a lot of stuff going on. There is a little bit of a sticky, syrupy complexion, but nothing too serious. It does have the chewiness that you want from a bigger IPA. So it's hitting all the marks, except for it's not the juicy bomb. So, I mean, I'd be inclined at a 92 at the complete moment in time. I think if there were even more malts in it, and even more variety of hops, it could be even a greater beer, potentially. But as of right now, a 92, I'm going to sit with that, and I'm going to just sip and enjoy the beer here on a Tuesday evening after work here. So, until next time, this has been High Red from Sixpoint Brewery. Until next time, keep taking these great beers. Cheers. I will see you soon.